Hello, welcome back students. How are you today? This lesson help you understand the different policies that embody your right as a citizen of the country. It will also help you understand how the government works with various institutions to address issues and concerns. Today, we will discuss the existing health-related laws in the Philippines. But before that, we will have a short pre-test. Oops! Do not worry, because the result of this activity will not be graded. It is only my way to check your prior knowledge about our lesson. Let's start. Read the directions carefully. I will give you 1 minute to answer the matching type and 1 minute for the true or false type of test. Your time starts now. Okay, let's move on to the second test. True or false? Your time starts now. Okay, you can check your answer now. Okay, let's check your answers. If you got 9 and below, it is necessary for you to learn more. If your score is 10, you can still learn from this lesson. Okay, let's move on. I will show you a video clip and be attentive because we will answer a question about it. Ready? Okay, so let's start.
10,000 yung in-order ko, hindi niya pinaganon. Hindi niya pinaganon ko.
Para pa ano sir, ihahamunin nyo ng video. Kung may iba'y naman karakbuhan na kayo, binayaran nyo Kami sir, hinahamon namin bukasan pag ganun kamahal. Binibidyo namin, oo
Ninja ban, ganito.
Kasi sir, kami, umalis kami, sabi nyo, walang laman
Kahirap naman basta.
Ay sir, yan, may kasama ng power bank, may kasama pang ano. Opo, may kasama na rin selfie stick. Ay, cellphone lang, importante dyan.
Importante yun, huwag na yung mga previous na.
Yung cellphone.
Cellphone type.
Kuya naman, huwag ka naman pahabak ng pahabak.
Hindi, karain naman. Karain naman kahon.
Puro pom.
Ay, ito.
Okay sir. Ganda lang lalagyan Okay.
Daliit
Ay,
naman tayo.
tiles.
Ay,
Walang laman.
Walang laman, tiles.
okay sir, yan, sabi siya, hinahamon ko kayo.
Walang laman. Tiles yung laman nun.
Kasi huwag nyo na bakbakin,
Okay na.
Okay na.
Eh dito sa loob pa.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. First, what is the problem on the video? Okay. Second, have you experienced the same situation? What did you do? Okay. So I want you to answer it in your activity notebook. Okay. So let's move on. We have different existing health-related laws in the Philippines. First, we will discuss the Republic Act 7394 or the Consumer Act of the Philippines. So, it is the policy of the state to protect the interests of the consumer, promote his general welfare, and to establish standard of conduct for business and industry. Towards this end, the state shall implement measures to achieve the following objective. 1. Protect against hazards to health and safety. 2. Protect against deceptive, unfair, and unconscionable sales acts and practices. 3. Provision of information and education to facilitate sound choice and the proper exercise of rights by consumer. Provision of adequate rights and means of redress, and involvement of consumer representatives in the formulation of social and economic policies. Okay, one of the agency that protects the consumer is the Department of Trade and Industry. So kung meron kayong problema na tapakan ng ating consumer, ang ating consumer rights, so pwede tayong pumunta sa DTI para magreklamo. Next. The Traditional and Alternative Medicine Act of 1997, also known as the RA 8423. It mandates the Philippine Institutes of Traditional and Alternative Healthcare to improve the quality and delivery of healthcare services to the Filipino people through the development of traditional and alternative healthcare and its integration into the national healthcare delivery system. So, one of the alternative medicine is chiropractic. So, familiar ba kayo dyan? Ang chiropractic is a treatment of misalignment of joints. Okay, especially ito yung mga merong disorders sa mga nerves, muscles, and organs. So, maganda to. Ito siya. Yan. So, from this kind of muscle joints, kayang i-fix yung likod mo properly. Yan. Okay, next is acupuncture. So, ang acupuncture, this is an old healing practice of traditional Chinese medicine. Okay, so dito kailangan ng mga needles, kung mapapansin nyo, meron piniplace yung mga needles na yan at specific points in the body. Okay, para ma-relieve ang pains. Next is the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012. The Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, also known as the Reproductive Health Law or RH Law, is a law in the Philippines that guarantees universal access to the methods such as contraception, fertility control, sexual education, and maternal care. There are pillars of reproductive health. First is the informed choice. Second, respect for life. Third, birth control and responsible parenthood. Number 1, the informed choice. It ensures the health of the mother and the child, and effective and quality productive healthcare services, which are ethically and medically safe, legal, accessible, and affordable shall be given primary to them. The government shall also promote and provide unbiased information and access to these services. Next, respect for life. It is an act recognized that an abortion is illegal and punishable by law. However, mother who will be identified to have aborted an unborn child will be served with post-abortive treatment and counseling in a humane, non-judgmental, and compassionate manner. Next pillar is the birth control. Reproductive health care, information, and supplies shall be made available most especially to the poor beneficiaries. However, the Act provides also that the government must respect the citizens' individual preferences and choices of family planning method. Last is the responsible parenthood. Couples determine their ideal family size. In addition, the government shall equip each parent with needed information in all aspects of family life, reproductive health, and this pillar. So, what is family planning? Mahalaga ba ang family planning? Family planning is a means to improve the quality of life of every Filipino. It is a program which enables couple and individual to decide freely and responsibly the number and spacing of their children. Couples decide when to have the next baby and use responsible means to achieve their desired number of children. The program also provides access to a full range of safe, affordable, and non-abortive efficient, modern, and natural methods of pregnancy planning. What are the responsibilities of a parents? It provides physical care, inculcate discipline, develop social competence, encourage learning, give opportunities for education and self-development, inculcate values, and provide economic securities. Next, the Philippine AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 1998. It is an act promulgating policies and prescribing measures for the prevention and control of HIV or AIDS in the Philippines. What is human immunodeficiency virus or HIV? So, some of you are familiar with HIV, so let's define it. It is a viral infection that attacks and slowly destroys the immune system of the infected person that leads to immune deficiency. It is progressive and can lead to lack of body defense to all kinds of infection, including those that do not normally infect man and can also lead to cancer susceptibility. What is acquired immune deficiency syndrome or AIDS? It is a condition characterized by a combination of signs and symptoms caused by HIV contracted from another person. AIDS attacks and weakens the body immune system, making the person who contracted the disease susceptible to life-threatening infection. Okay, so I will show you a video about HIV and AIDS explained in a simple way. So, panoorin natin ng sabay-sabay.
We explain HIV and AIDS. The human immune system defends the body against illnesses all the time. It uses guards in the blood called T cells to recognize any intruders and destroy them. But instead of attacking the body, the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, attacks those T cells themselves. It turns them into copy machines to make more copies of itself, then eventually kills the infected T cells. Without treatment, it takes 8 years on average for a person with HIV to develop AIDS, or acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. By then, there aren't enough T cells to fight off various infections and diseases. So it's not the virus directly, but the diseases that are eventually fatal. Humans first acquired HIV from blood contact with apes and gradually transmitted it to more people through unprotected sex, used syringes, and childbirth. AIDS remained undiscovered until a sudden outbreak among gay men in New York and San Francisco in 1981. Very quickly, people began developing the same unusual symptoms around the world. The patients suffered from rare forms of skin cancer, pneumonia, or thrush, and few survived. Prejudice against homosexuality made research funding hard to get, and more people were getting sick. What could be done? Keep the virus from spreading. It became clear that the best preventive measure was safe sex, as condoms kept the virus from infecting others. Additionally, blood banks started testing blood, and new programs even distributed clean needles to drug users. Finally, in 1987, the first treatment against the virus was released, the ancestor of combination therapy. The medication still isn't a cure, but it keeps the virus from multiplying and destroying the host's immune system. By starting treatment early, people with HIV can now live long, healthy lives. Unfortunately, many people still lack access to medication, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. Over the last 30 years, about 36 million people have died, while 2 million more are infected each year. Scientists have made a lot of progress, but are still looking for the cure. You too can help end the AIDS crisis. Play safe, get tested, donate to support research, prevention, and care, and spread the word.
If you understand the video, let's move on. You can get HIV by means of, sex without a condom. Second, pass from mother to baby. Very good. Sharing injecting equipment. Another example. Yes, contaminated blood transfusions and organ transplant. HIV is not transmitted by anyone. Can you give me one example? Okay, yes. Correct. Insect bites. So, hindi ka mahawa just because of insect bites. Another? Very good. Toilet seats. Of course, kissing. So, some of you will react because hindi naman siya nakakahawa talaga. Kahit magkaroon ka ng kissing sa isang HIV positive. Next is sharing utensils. So, hindi ka rin mahawa. Also, touching. Hindi ka rin mahawa. Okay, so let's move on. Ma Dolzura Cortez was the first Filipino AIDS victim who came out in the open to tell about her life and how she acquired the AIDS virus. So, namatay siya noong 1992. Next. So, si Sarah Jane Salazar was a former commercial sex worker who admitted publicly in 1994 that she had HIV, the second Filipino to do after Cortez, who died from AIDS in 1992. Yan naman yung second person na nag-positive sa AIDS. Okay, so what are the early symptoms of HIV again? Can you enumerate some? Okay, very good. One is fever, rashes, sore throat, swollen glands, headache, upset stomach, joint aches and pains, and muscle pains. Very good. Okay, so paano natin malalaman kung HIV positive tayo? Of course, okay, an HIV test is done by taking blood from the finger or arm or by an oral swab. Okay, so meron tayong different modes para malaman natin kung tayo ay HIV positive. Yan. So, free lang naman ang HIV test sa ating mga RHU. The National Blood Services Act of 1994. Okay, so ano ba to? Okay, it promotes voluntary blood donation to provide sufficient supply of safe blood and to regulate blood banks. This act aims to inculcate public awareness that blood donation is a humanitarian act. Okay, so mahalaga ba ang pagdodonate ng dugo? Yes. Saan ba napupunta nito? Okay, where does donated blood go? First is for general surgery. Second, general medical like chronic and renal diseases or ito yung mga nagda-dialysis. Next is obstetric like complicated delivery and cesarean section kasi maraming naubusan ng dugo dyan, and bleeding disorder like dengue. Also for cancer like leukemia and accident and trauma. Okay, so one of the agency that promotes blood donation is the Philippine Red Cross. So if one day gusto nyo mag-donate, maganda. Next, the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Okay, so what is cybercrime? Okay, so this act aims to address legal issues concerning online interaction. With the advancement of technology, there are various platforms where you may express yourself. This may do both good and harm to you. Okay, cyber. What is cyber? Cyber refers to a computer or computer network, the electronic medium in which online communication takes place. Consequently, cybercrime is simply any crime committed in cyberspace. This act mandates the prohibition of cybersex, child pornography, unsolicited commercial communications, and computer-related identity theft. Okay, there are cybercrime offenses in the Philippines. One is illegal access to the whole or any part of a computer system without the right to do so. Next is the illegal interception. An interception made by technical means and without right of any public transmission of computer data from or within a computer system, including electromagnetic emissions from a computer system carrying such computer data. Next, data interference. It is either intentional or reckless alteration, damaging, deletion, or deterioration of computer data, electronic documents, or electronic data message without right, including the introduction or transmission of viruses. Next cybercrime offense is system interference. Intentional alteration or reckless hindering or interference with the function of a computer or computer network by inputting, transmitting, damaging, deleting, deteriorating, altering, or suppressing computer data or a program, electronic document, or electronic data message without right or authority, including the introduction or transmission of viruses. Next, misuse of device. Use, production, sale, procurement, importation, distribution, or otherwise making available without right of the following. Okay, so a device including a computer program designed or adopted primarily for the purpose of committing any of the offenses under this act. Okay, a computer password, access code, or similar data by which the whole or any part of a computer system is capable of being accessed with intent that it may be used for the purpose of committing any of the offenses under this act. So as long as ginamit mo yung devices, either computer or cellphone, sa maling paraan, okay, that is also already a cybercrime offense. Next, cyber squatting. Okay. Acquisition of a domain name over the internet in bad faith to profit, mislead, destroy reputation, and deprive others from registering the same in such of a domain name. Okay, so ito yung madalas nang nangyayari. Okay, so example is yung twitter.com. Hindi mo mapapansin, double I pala yun. Okay? So, be careful. Yan yung tinatawag nating acquisition of domain name over the internet. Next is a similar, identical, or confusingly similar to an existing trademark registered with the appropriate government agency at the time of a domain name registration. Example, okay, so pag nakita mo yung trademark na yan, ang una pumapasok sa isip mo is McDonald's, tama? So, akala mo McDonald's, Munchie Burger pala. Next is this logo, Adidog. Okay, so ang logo, ang trademark naman na yan is belongs to the Adidas. Next is this trademark, Enjoy Chica Loca. So alam naman natin yan na ang may ganyan is yung Coca-Cola. So nagkakaroon ng similarity and identical. Next, cybercrime is okay, another one is the 45th President of the United States. Okay, so kung mapapansin mo, maraming kapangalan si Donald J. Trump. Ayan. Tinatawag natin itong mga poser. Okay, so usually merong mga ganito, check or verified. So be careful sa mga i-chat nyo or i-add nyo kung tunay ba talaga sila or fake lang. Next, acquired without right or with intellectual property interest. Next, computer-related offenses. Number 1 is a computer-related forgery. Input, alteration, or deletion of any computer data without right resulting in authenticated data with intent that it may be considered or acted upon for legal purposes as if it were authentic, regardless whether or not the data are directly reliable and intelligible, or the act of knowingly using computer data which are the product of computer-related forgery as defined herein for the purpose of perpetuating a fraudulent or dishonest design. Yan. Next, computer-related fraud. Unauthorized input, alteration, or deletion of computer data or program, or interference in a functioning of a computer system, causing damage thereby with fraudulent intent, provided that if no damage has yet been caused, the penalty imposable shall be 1 degree lower. And next is the computer-related identity theft. Intentional acquisition, use, misuse, transfer, possession, alteration, or deletion of identifying information belonging to another, whether natural, juridical, without right, provided that if no damage has yet been caused, the penalty imposable shall be 1 degree lower. Okay, so ito yung madalas na nangyayari sa atin, yung identity theft. Nag-create sila ng account gamit yung mga mukha mo or mga picture mo. Pwedeng makapangdaya, di ba? O ito yung mga tinatawag nating poser. Ayan. So, madalas dito, ginagamit nila yung identity mo, identity card holder. Okay, so ito yung mga tinatawag nating credit card scam. Okay, nakakapag-withdraw sila gamit yung ATM mo na clinone. Okay, so be careful. Next, content-related offenses. So, ano ba yan? 1. Cybersex. So, willful engagement, maintenance, control, or operation directly or indirectly of any lascivious exhibition of sexual organs or sexual activity with the aid of a computer system for favor of consideration. Okay, so madalas nangyayari ito sa online. Okay, so this is a content-related offense. Next, child pornography. Any representation, whether visual, audio, or written combination thereof by electronic, mechanical, digital, optical, magnetic, or any other means of child engagement or involved in real or simulated explicit sexual activities. Okay, so child refers to a person below 18 years of age or over but is unable to fully take care of himself or herself because abuse, neglect, cruelty, exploitation, or discrimination because of physical or mental disability or condition. Okay, so bawal to, yung child pornography. Next, content-related offense is unsolicited commercial communication. So, ano ba to? Transmission of commercial electronic communication with the use of computer system which seeks to advertise, sell, or offer for sale products and services is prohibited unless there is a prior consent from the recipient. The primary intent of the communication is for service and administrative announcement from the sender and its existing users, subscribers, or consumers. Okay, so ito na yung mga unsolicited, tinatawag nating spam. The commercial electronic communication contains a simple, valid, and very reliable way for the recipient to reject receipts of further commercial electronic messages from the same source. The commercial electronic communication does not purposely disguise the source of electronic message, and the commercial electronic communication does not purposely include misleading information in any part of the message in order to induce the recipient to read the message. Okay. So, okay naman tong unsolicited complaint as long as alam mo kung saan galing. Ang mahirap pag hindi, yun yung mga offenses na pinagbabawal. Next, libel. Libel is a public and malicious imputation of a crime or of a vice or defect, real or imaginary, or any act, omission, condition, status, or circumstance tending to cause the dishonor, discredit, or contempt of a natural or juridical person, or blacken the memory of one who is died, committed through a computer system or any other similar means which may be devised in the future. Okay, so ito yung ginamit, diniscredit, dishonor mo yung person using a computer device. Okay, so one of the agency that protect cybercrime offenses or cybercrime libel is the National Bureau of Investigation or the NBI. So kung meron kayong problema through cybercrime, cyber libel, pumunta lang sa agency ng NBI. Next is the National Environmental Awareness and Education Act of 2008. Okay, this act provides for the promotion of environmental awareness through environmental education which shall encompasses environmental concepts and principles, environmental laws, the state of the international and local environment, local environmental best practices, the threats of environmental degradation and its impact of human well-being, the responsibility of citizenry to the environment, the value of conservation, protection, and rehabilitation of natural resources and the environment. The Department of Environmental and Natural Resources or the DENR protects the environmental awareness in the Philippines. Next is the Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002. Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002 safeguards the well-being of its citizenry, particularly the youth, from the harmful effects of dangerous drugs on their physical and mental well-being, and to defend the same against acts or commission detrimental to their development and preservation. In view of the foregoing, the state needs to enhance further and efficacy of the law against dangerous drugs. It is being one of today's more serious social ills. Okay, so one of the department or agency that protects, okay, The youth is the PDEA and the PNP, the Philippine National Police. So, here are some unlawful acts are subject to penalties and fines. Okay, number 1, importing of dangerous drugs and or controlled precursor and essential chemicals, selling, trading, administering, dispensing, delivering, distributing, and transporting dangerous drugs and or controlled precursor and essential chemicals, maintaining a drug den or drive or resort, manufacturing of dangerous drugs and or controlled precursor and essential chemicals. Next, manufacturing or delivery of equipment, instruments, apparatus, or other paraphernalia for dangerous drugs and or controlled precursor and essential chemicals, possessing dangerous drugs, equipment, instruments, apparatus, or other paraphernalia, possessing dangerous drugs during parties, during gatherings or meetings, cultivating or culturing plants classified as dangerous drugs or source of such, unnecessary prescribing dangerous drugs. Next, Seatbelts Use Act of 1999 or RA number 8750. This act aims to secure and safeguard its citizenry, particularly the passengers and drivers of private and public motor vehicles, from the ruinous and extremely injury effects of vehicular accidents. The policy includes the mandatory wearing of seatbelt devices by the drivers and front seat passengers of private and public motor vehicles. Let us see what you have learned from this lesson by doing different activities. Take your time in answering by pausing the video if the time is not enough. Write your answer in your activity notebook. Okay, your time starts now. Congratulations for finishing the different activities. Job well done.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight, we will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight, yeah. We are heroes tonight, we will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight, yeah. From town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.